Hello. I'm going to start a series of short videos of people that came out of this book right here called Hoosiers. This book was put out in 1993. So some people in this book, like this young fella here, he may be riding his bike up into heaven now. I don't know. But I started doing this last night, and I was trying to put two people in each video, and they came out too long. And I know you guys are ready for some short stuff. So this first one will be a little longer because I'm yakking so much. But you can see all these little pieces of paper are people I want to do, and I'm going to do them one at a time. I deleted two I did yesterday. And the one I'm most excited about doing, but I don't want to do it tonight because I'm just kind of tired, and I'm just doing two more, this one and one more. There's a person that's very, very dear to me, and that is my father. He is in this book. But I'm not going to do him tonight. Maybe tomorrow, okay? When I'm a little more rested. But I thought it'd be real appropriate to start with this guy on here. We have everything in here, the famous people you've heard of, the people you've never heard of. You probably never heard of my father before. I don't know. You like that little thing I got going there? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you about this guy. I'm just going to start with him. Every page in here has a great big huge picture of who it is. I love the picture of my dad, but we can't do it till tomorrow. So here's this guy, and then there's a page of just a little bit of information about them. So I'm going to tell you about this guy. But I always play an introduction song, and this introduction has something to do with him. And all you folks from my sister-in-law, Barb, if you're watching this, maybe you've heard of this guy because you're from, other people call it Corydon. If you're from down here, you call it Corydon, Indiana, where Dan Patch was born and raised, but not about him. This is a hint to.
Those magnificent men in their flying machine, they go up to the
You thought it was going to be something about a bicycle, like bicycle built for two or something, but this is about this guy. Alright, we'll stop it there and play the rest of them. Won't be long. It's probably as long as this because I talked so much at the beginning. This man's name is Christian Englemam. And this picture was actually taken in November of 1987. At the time it was taken, he was 79 years old. So if you deduct those years and add that on, I'm not saying he couldn't still be alive, but it'd be, but yeah, 79, that's pretty old, and he's standing by this big bicycle. Get my little notes here, so I don't have to look down at the book. And say I'll look down at the notes. So he was 79 in 1997. He lived in Corydon, as you all know what Corydon, which was the first state capital of Indiana. It's about 25 miles from my hometown of Salem. He did three things in his life. His job was a clockmaker. He was an avid bicyclist all the way up to when he was 79, I guess. And he's also an inventor. And that's probably going to come on more in the story right here. So, I don't know what year this happened, but it had to be sometime in very late 1930s, like 39, or more likely the early 40s. He and his brother built, I'm not exactly sure what this, but you airplane people out there might know. He and his brother built from scratch a Heath, H-E-A-T-H, parasol, P-A-R-A-S-O-L, high-winged airplane. It worked. But the FBI found out, and they came to town in Corydon, and they told him he had to dismantle and take apart his airplane. You know why? They had to do that during World War II. He could not have that airplane there during World War II. Did they think the Germans might fly by and see that plane and want to take part in that? Or did they think Christian and his brother were going to get in the plane and fly to Germany or something? I don't know. But he had to take it apart. I'm sure they put it back together after the war. His big bicycle invention, his dream, he created, I don't understand what this is either. Radial, R-A-D-I-A-L, radial brakes, bicycle brakes. And he said they were much safer than either the hand brakes or the pedal brakes. And his dream, his vision was for all bicycles that came out of production to have these radial brakes on them. And then the last thing is this bike was one of his prized possessions. It was the oldest thing he had, and it was the most valuable thing he had. And that bicycle right there was 105 years old in 1987. And it said it's a nickel-plated high wheeler. And I'm sure that even if Mr. Englemam is passed on from us, that bicycle is somewhere in Corydon, probably in his family's possession, sitting there getting older, and hopefully they're taking care of it. So, and that's really the end of this, except he did make the comment once. Quote, Indiana is a progressive state to me. I'm sorry, Indiana is a progressive state in some ways to me. And I believe that's true. Indiana is a progressive state in some ways to me. The key word is some. I need to shut up and finish playing this song for you. And I'm sorry this one went long. The rest will be shorter. Unless I get the big mouth.